Missy from Fire Fitness Camp Fond du Lac here. So I wanted to share with you some of my meal prep process for not just the 8-week challenge that we're on right now, but just in general. If I decide to actually be on top of my food and I'm meal prepping correctly, this is kind of how I do it to make it short and sweet. So a couple things, I'll just go real quick through my meals for the week. So I'm starting off with either Formula One from First Form or Level One. On other days, this is amazing in my coffee. I heard a lot of questions about what to do instead of coffee creamer. This one is awesome. I throw about that much water in the bottom of my cup, throw in a scoop of this, mix it up, and then put the coffee on top. Because otherwise, sometimes if you do the hot coffee on top of just the protein powder, it gets like kind of clumpy and gross, and then you're just chewing it, and that's weird and no fun for anyone. And then I've also got my OptiGreens that I'm going to use on a couple of the mornings. And just going through my list. So for breakfast, 4 of the days, I've got an egg bake. So in here, I have enough egg whites for 4 servings of it. And then I actually forgot my eggs, so I need to run to Costco and get my eggs. So I'm going to put in 4 whole eggs. I'm not going to mix them up, so that way I can see the yolk in it, and I know that I'm getting the yolks separately from each other. Then going on down the line, so I'm going to have some shredded chicken for a lot of my meals. So in the one crock pot, I've got my shredded chicken. I have measured out enough for 9 meals, plus I have a few that I'm just doing 2 ounces of chicken with half a cup or a quarter cup of cottage cheese. So I have that accounted for in there too. And what I do when I'm making meat in my crock pot is I'll put the meat in there, and I'll put anywhere from half a cup to a cup of water in it, because that's gonna let it, stay juicier. I don't like eating like full chunks of chicken. I like to shred it up. So by putting the water in it while it cooks, it kind of makes it more moist. Then as it's getting closer to finishing, I'll just take a regular old fork and I'll just kind of shred it with the fork. It'll fall apart really easy. Makes it a lot more pleasant to eat for me. I don't know about you guys. But then in my other pot, I have lean beef. So we had a lot of questions about what lean beef is. It's technically considered anything that's 10 grams of fat or less. So I just went to Pick and Save, found the leanest beef that I could find that was on sale. I'm not loaded, so I'm not going to break the bank on like this crazy expensive meat. If it happened to be on sale, great, but that's not necessarily livable for my lifestyle. So I did what I could, got a nice lean cut of beef, and again, for both of those, I season them with the Mrs. Dash. So I have the onion and herb and the garlic and herb. They have so many different flavors on them. If you're a spicy person, they've got a spicier version. They got a lot of stuff going on. So, and then the lettuce and the cucumber salads. So I've got in each of my containers, I have 2 cups of lettuce. So these are 2 of my lettuce salads. And then for the cucumbers, I wrote in my earlier post that I was going to do 8 cucumbers along with 4 tablespoons of oil. So instead, these are actually just giant cucumbers. So I really only ended up doing 4 of them. I still put the 4 tablespoons of oil in it. Then I did 1 tablespoon of vinegar per. Let's see, I've got the other bowl right here. So these are the 4 giant cucumbers split into 2 different things with 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and then 2 tablespoons of vinegar in there. And then to go with one of my meals, I listed that I was going to do half a cup or a quarter cup of cottage cheese with 2 ounces of chicken breast, because I'm not a huge cottage cheese fan and I wanted to kind of split it up to put something on my lettuce salad. So I've got prepared my 4 separate quarter cup of cottage cheese. Those are going to go with my lettuce salad. So I'll package these up with the cucumbers on top of the salads, ready to go. And what else do we got? Oh, lastly, over here, I've got my tray of veggies. So I'm just going to roast them lightly. My teeth are really sensitive, so I don't really do good with a ton of raw veggies. But I also want to keep them as close to raw as I can. So I'm just going to throw these in the oven. Probably about 10 minutes or so at about 350 degrees. Going to keep them nice and low. And so on top of these, I also have Mrs. Dash. So having the mushrooms in them, so I did account for MyFitnessPal, and I did make a recipe with these and made sure that my net carbohydrates are where they need to be. So that's something to keep in mind. Remember, you can add in the veggies you need to and things like that. Just keep your net carbohydrates in line. Right now, we're just kind of all overthinking it. Do what you got to do to make it work for you, and if you have a hard time figuring out how many net carbs are in it, MyFitnessPal is a great resource for that. I'm really excited to throw the broccoli in there. And then so I also, just to finish it off, I made myself a list. I forgot my eggs. I need more broccoli for the raw broccoli that I do have, and I forgot my fish oil. So I finished up made a list of what I need, so I'm going to go to the store and finish that out. I'll let the meat cook for probably about 6 hours or so, and the veggies and the egg bake will be done. And then basically how I packaged everything up, I have a bunch of these. I got them from Costco. They're about $10 for 24 of them. They're perfect for meal prep. So I will separate every single meal. I'll have it labeled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And like I said in one of my other posts, I'm going to decide Sunday based on how I'm feeling on Saturday. So whether you're doing the 8-week challenge or not, a couple big takeaway tips. Crock pot's awesome way to cook a ton of your proteins at a time. It's a set it and forget it thing. The water and the Mrs. Dash do wonders. And then the grilled veggies are one of my favorite things. It doesn't really matter what veggies I have. Usually I just go to the store and I look for what's on sale, and that's what I'll base my meals off for the week. But just throw them on a sheet pan, throw them in the oven, and forget about it. So don't overcomplicate the meal prep thing. Don't let it be that you don't have time or it, and then learn from there. There's weeks that I make way more complicated this stuff than this, and it takes a good few hours if I want more variety. So that's the thing. If you want simple but are okay with little less variety, great, here it is. If you want more variety, then look into different recipes on the web. There's tons of stuff out there. MyFitnessPal is a great resource. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to message me either on our Fondy Facebook page or on my personal page. But good luck this week to everybody. Or if you're just starting out the new year wanting to eat a little bit healthier, this is a great way to start. Start yourself off with a couple crock pots full of meat, a sheet pan full of veggies, and go from there. It doesn't need to be perfect to start, but you got to start on the challenge. Prepping is the key. You know, the old phrase, if you fail to prep, you prep to fail, or, whatever. I probably said it wrong. But it's true. You got to prep out as much as you can. Do your reading.